this is going to be my review for Iron Man Noir. And yes, this is the final book that I got from MegaCon. Finally read it all, and I'm going to review it. So, this was part of the 2009 Marvel Noir universe that, you know, they really tried to bring out, which I haven't read a lot of the other Marvel Noir stuff. I know Spider-Man Noir is really good. I know X-Men Noir is kind of on the fence. Daredevil Noir, according to my good friend Tori GNR1, sucks. That's just his opinion. And I take his opinion very seriously, so I'll, you know, take some friendly advice and not... If I find more Marvel Noir, I'll pick it up if I can. But yeah, I really wanted to read Iron Man Noir because this is one of the two things Scott Snyder did before he left for DC, the other being this Human Torch story. And the artwork is done by Andy Garcia. Wait, is that his name? I know it's last name Garcia. I'm totally forgetting the artist's first name, I'm sorry. But anyway, Iron Man Noir, the best way I can describe this story, it's steampunk Indiana Jones. That is exactly what it is. This is steampunk Indiana Jones, and it's so frickin' cool. I mean, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Tony Stark in here is an adventurer with with Rhodey, and they're pretty much looking for artifacts that can keep Tony Stark's heart alive. And it's so cool of how Scott Snyder, you know, implements everything in this story. I love how he builds this you know, he expands on the Marvel Noir universe. I mean, it pretty much follows them being betrayed by Madame Mask, and you'd think it's someone like, and I think if they wanted to use the Mandarin, I think he could have worked really well in here, but it's not the Mandarin, it's actually Baron Zemo and Baron Strucker as the villains. So we've got two Captain America villains as, you know, the main antagonists, which I found kind of odd, because I really wanted to see what he would do with a noir version of the Mandarin. I mean, we do get a mention of him, but it's an action figure, which I think is hilarious. And also, what they do with Baron Zemo is awesome. Like, my jaw frickin' dropped, because, okay, Baron Zemo in here is not Helmut Zemo, or, excuse me, yeah, Heinrich Zero. It's not. It is someone else. And I'm not going to spoil who that is, but trust me, when you see that, it's going to be like, oh, crap. But I will say this, how they kind of explain what Zemo is that apparently Zemo in this universe is a title, and several people have been in the you know, the Third Reich have been, you know, the title of Zemo through this chemical called Zemo that is like a mind control device, a fluid that destroys everything that the person was and makes them different, you know, makes them into this, you know, perfect Nazi soldier. So in here we get that Tony Stark is not only the head of the Stark Enterprise, but he's also created this magazine called Marvels, and we get these cool little these little cameos on the magazines of, you know, we get the Menace of MODOK, which is some kind of Mayan god in the picture. We also get like the Bloodstone. If anyone remembers the old classic Marvel of the Bloodstone, that's awesome. You know, kudos. We also get I think a Fin Fang Foom on one of the covers. So it's really cool that Tony Stark in here is more like an Indiana Jones type character, and he's looking for stuff to find, you know, repair his heart. And he gets betrayed by the only Iron Man villain in here, Madame Mask, and she's in here, and she betrays Tony Stark, and the story continues with Tony Pepper, his new, you know, chronicler after his first one, Virgil, was shot and killed. But basically Pepper, under the title of a man, that's kind of what some things back in the 40s, women would go by male titles to their authors. So they go on a quest to get this. They have to go find Atlantis to find, you know, Poseidon's trident. And how they get there is through Namor. And Namor in here, they treat him as a pirate. They make him a pirate. They don't make him Atlantean, but they make him a pirate. And how they explain the ears is that his crew cuts their ears to look like shark fins to inspire fear. And everything they do in here is awesome. I will say that. The action is great. The artwork is fantastic. But the thing is that Tony Stark doesn't become Iron Man until about the midway towards the end of the third issue, actually. Towards the end of the third issue. But for the most part, it is just basically Tony Stark as Indiana Jones in an Iron Man suit, which is awesome. Also, one of the scenes that I was like, that is amazing, is when the Iron Man suit converts into a giant motorcycle. I was like, This is the greatest goddamn comic ever. And there's just some great imagery, and also it just feels like an old classic movie, and some of the lines do get a little dialogue-y, like, you Nazi scum, or, you know, saying stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the 40s, that was appropriate. So, I was kind of like, that is some lame writing, but then I remembered, oh yeah, time period. That worked, that actually worked, so I was really okay with that. It isn't really a horror story, per se. There are some, like, really kind of odd, you know, especially when they reveal who Zemo is. That's, like, a very scary moment, and how they explain it is kind of creepy in and of itself. But all in all, this feels like a very good adventure story. This is a very good, you know, if you're a fan of old classic, you know, Indiana Jones, well, yeah, Indiana Jones is classic in and of itself, excluding that horrible fourth movie. But if you're fans of that, or, you know, or if you really enjoy old, like, noir stories, but, you know, kind of steampunky, like, if you like, you know, the anime movie Steam Boy, yeah, you would love this. I'd really recommend this. Even if you're not the biggest Iron Man fan, I really recommend this comic to the fullest degree. This is a great story. I really want to see, after reading this, I really want to see how Scott Snyder would have taken on, you know, the 616 Iron Man comics. I really wonder what he would have done with that, because I know he's known for a lot of horror stuff with iVampire and all that, but after reading this, I'm like, huh, what would he have done with the actual Iron Man book? I mean, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't make it a horror book for the most part. I think he would have been very interesting with it, and he definitely got Tony's personality down. And also, what they do with Jarvis in here is that he's not his butler; he's his engineer, and he's this ultra engineer badass, and it's awesome. I forgot to mention that. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please, if you can find this book, it's amazing. Or if you're an Iron Man fan, or if you want to read something that, you know, is just kind of a fun adventure story, this is a definite. So, and again, I highly recommend this if you're a fan of Indiana Jones type stories. So, yeah, I know I've said that a lot, but that is what it is. It's Indiana Jones in an Iron Man suit. But anyway, guys, I'm out.